Speedy Spread says, hey, coach, there's this girl who I know because my mom and her aunt know each other. She's amazing. Has a relationship with God. Interested in all the things I'm interested in. Athlete, media. Let me see if you have anything else. And she drove 3 hours to see me and to make a gospel song in the studio I work at. I think it would be amazing to court her. I'm 23 and have been single for a year and a half. And I'm not sure. Oh, there we go. And I'm not sure if I'm being overly patient or if I'm scared to pursue her because I don't want to fail. So, excuse me. Let me see that again. Speedy Sprague says, hey, coach, there's this girl who I know because my mom and her aunt know each other. She's amazing, has a real relationship with God, interested in all the things I'm interested in, like athletics and media. And she drove 3 hours to see me and to make a gospel song in the studio I work at. I think it would be amazing to court her. I'm 23 and have been single for a year and a half. And I'm not sure if I'm being overly patient or if I'm scared to pursue her because I don't want to fail. Great question, family. And so I'm going to help you tenderly with this because I understand and I have been there before. Let's go through again. There's this girl who I know because my mom and her aunt know each other. She's amazing, has a real relationship with God, interested in all the things I'm interested in. Great, cool. Now, before you even think about her at all, I want you to think about you. In the last year and a half, how much have you grown and developed from your last situation? Also, ask yourself this second question. Am I in a place right now to be able to spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, professionally, and financially lead her? Number 3, where am I right now in my purpose? Am I profiting at a high level in my purpose, at the level to be able to provide for my family, right? Those are the questions you got to think about because sometimes when you get into these emotions, especially at the latter part of the question where you have fear of failure, then that area has to be ironed out. That area has to be smoothed out. And you have to really ask yourself, have I truly been brought out of my last relationship? Because a lot of people are physically out of a relationship, but they're not mentally or emotionally out of it. And a year and a half doesn't necessarily prove, because time doesn't always heal if you don't yield to the training of the time. A lot of people think that because it's been a year or two since I've been with her or him, I should be good. But you may be physically out, but a lot of people have never healed. You have to ask yourself, do I have scars from the relationship or do I still have fresh wounds from the relationship? So the question is, this is the easiest way to see. When her name pops up in your mind right now, what do you feel? The girl you used to be with, whatever emotions you feel when you think about her tells you a lot about your healing. If you feel resentment, if you feel unforgiveness, if you feel confusion, if you still feel bad, if it was you that you made the mistake, if you haven't learned from it, like if you still feel certain feelings from something that is a year and a half old, then you haven't really healed from that. You may be physically out and you may have used your music, you may have used your athleticism, you may have used working out as a band-aid, but you never got the surgery needed, you never got the healing needed, and you may have a light infection in that area that will infect her life, the girl that you're interested in. So if you don't think of it in a holistic standpoint, then you will stand in front of her as a good package, but you have no present in that package because the girl still has some of those things from your past. So number one, you have to ask yourself, right now on a scale of 1 to 10, how solid is my relationship with God? Number 2, scale of 1 to 10, how solid is my relationship with myself? Am I fully in love, growing in love with God and myself? On a scale of 1 to 10, how profitable, how proficient, how prudent am I in my purpose professionally? Am I able to provide for her? Are you, number 3, a scale of 1 to 10. Number 4, how content are you in your singleness? Contentment is the key marker in most situations that you're ready for a new situation. Contentment says, I appreciate the situation I'm in. I'm enjoying the situation I'm in. Yes, I would like to be married, but I'm really enjoying my singleness. I see the beauty and the boundaries of this season. If you don't have those type of emotions going and surrounding you, then my friend, you're going to be led into a commotion. And then you're going to have her on uneasy oceans because you're unstable. And a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. So if you're double-minded still about her, closure about your ex, then you're going to be unstable with your next, right? So, hey, coach, there's this girl who I know because my mom and her aunt know each other. And the cool thing is, the word know is very key in your question. You know of her, but you don't know half of her. You barely know who she is. And that's why it's important to make sure that your knowing in the other categories are high. You have to know God at a high level. You have to know yourself at a high level. You have to know your purpose at a high level. You have to know people at a high level. Because these areas will keep your discernment and sensitivity high so that you don't fall in love with a good thing and miss out on your God thing. And that's dangerous. That is more dangerous than falling in love with a bad thing. Because when you fall or grow in love with a good thing that's not a God thing, you still miss out on a God thing. You still miss out on purpose. Do you know how many people who have married the wrong one and missed out on millions? Married the wrong one. They're good people. They have a good house in the country. They have a good way of living, but they are not in line with their purpose. I don't care if you have a great life with a good wife. If it ain't God's wife for you, you're going to stand before God and God going to be like, you missed out on this. And so that's why you have to know God, know yourself, know your purpose at a high level. Because when you know God, you'll trust God. When you know yourself, you will know whether or not you're trustworthy or not, and you will walk in wisdom. And if you know your purpose at a high level, you will be able to say, is there any compatibility? Now, that part can confuse a lot of us because we'll look at a situation and be like, she likes what I like. He likes what I like. So this must be right. That's not always the case. There's a lot of people who are compatible with you, but it doesn't mean they're your counterpart. There's a difference between being compatible and being one's counterpart. Compatibility means that we like similar things and this could work. That's the scary thing. There's a lot of things that's not from God that still could work. Do you know there's people that I could have married that could have worked? There's people that you can marry that could have worked, but they wouldn't have been equipped to help you do God's work. So she's amazing, but you got to make sure that she's amazing for you. And that you are amazing for her the way God designed it for y'all to be together. If not, then you're just going to find yourself sabotaging or be at a place where you could have been dodging. I'd rather dodge something, even if it was a good throw. There's some catch that you should have caught. Oh, that's a good catch. I can see that. I'm going to dodge it though. Versus sabotaging. Now, she has a relationship with God, cool, but we don't know. Interested in all the things I'm interested in, and that's good. Nothing wrong with that. I don't want you to think there's anything wrong with that. And she drove 3 hours to see me and to make a gospel song in the studio. Now, she drove 3 hours, fam. Now, that's the man in me. That's the husband in me. Now, unless you had a better studio, then I understand. Now, if you had a better studio and she didn't, that's understand. She drove 3 hours. But did you? Well, dang, that's kind of sticky icky too. Because if she drove 3 hours, you got to at least pay for the gas. Did you pay for the gas? Did you pay for a housing? Like in her housing, did you pay for room and board? See, that's business. If I'm going to have if I was a single man and I was in this situation and a young lady wants to do something for me, I'm not saying you did or didn't. I'm just giving this just to a guy who didn't do this. Or maybe if you did, I would say, you know what? I know I'm not ready for her if I'm not able to provide for her to come do work with me. Because that's a subconscious psychological thing that's triggered in a man. Like if she drove 3 hours, you had to have paid for the gas. You had to have paid for a hotel room. You had to have paid for something. That lets you know if you're ready for something else with that individual. Now, I think it would be amazing to court her. Now, think is different than knowing. The fact that you think, this may cause you to sink. If you don't know, don't flow. This is where you seek God, and this shouldn't be the only time you seek God. Sometimes we seek God to get from God versus seeking God to be like God. Now, if you're now turning towards God now to find out if it's her, then my friend, then you too far from him. You should know already if it's her or not based on the relationship with God. See, when you have a solid relationship with God, and this is just here, that's why I said tenderly. When you have a solid relationship with God, you will know off the bat. Right now, you should know whether or not. And if you don't know, because God don't play hide and go seek. God wants you clear. If you're not absolutely clear that you should draw near to her, then you should just leave her at a business relationship. And you got to work a relationship with God because God will let you know ahead of time. So if you don't know, don't flow. If you don't know, don't show. Let's start with show. If you don't know, don't show. Don't show no interest. Don't shoot no shots. Don't slide in no DMs. Don't try to do another song with her. If you don't know, don't show nothing. And if you definitely don't flow with her because you don't know. Because you said, I think it would be amazing. What will make it amazing? If God is not already amazing to you, then you're going to be going through a maze with her. And so that's why I'm getting you to think through the different levels of this to see where the devil is in this. And where there's you in this that may cause all of this to be nothing but a miss, and it never materialize into anything. I think it would be amazing to call her. Good, that's cool, but you're 23. You're 23. Now, if you a multimillionaire and you love the Lord and everything's good, not even multimillionaire, you making a good amount of money, you loving your purpose, and you flowing with God, 23, even though that's a Jordan number, don't always lead to great things. It don't always lead to the greatest of all time type of things, right? Just because you're 23, or you can go LeBron with it too. Anyway. What I'm trying to say is process it. Now, last part of your question is, come on, mouse. There we go. And she drove 3 hours. Cool. And I'm not sure. Okay, good. And he said, and I'm not sure if I'm being overly patient or if I'm scared to pursue her because I don't want it to fail. Well, that right there is an area that you got to make sure that you talk to God. Do I have a fear of failure? Because my friend, hear me. You do not want to take a fear of failing into any selling. If you have fear of failing, you're not going to be a good seller. Because selling means relationships, partnerships. God uses these different ships to get you to the next domain. And if you have the fear of failing, then you're not going to be good at selling any relationship, especially if you're the captain of it, especially if you're the head of the household. You cannot be afraid of failing when it comes to selling. You have to know that you know that you know. You have to be solid in who you believe and increasing your trustworthiness in yourself to believe in yourself. But if you have a fear of failure, all of these questions that you've given me, and that's why I love doing this, is giving me indicators for you to pause before the cause so that you can be able to see, hey, man, is this you, God, or is this me? And that's okay. A typical 23-year-old is going to be like that. I was like that. I was looking around every corner. Is this of God? Is this not of God? Oh, she's great and amazing. Then I realized as I matured, things began to really show that I wasn't really ready for it. So be patient because you don't want to end up being a patient. Getting unnecessary surgeries, she's getting unnecessary surgeries and bruises because you do not want to court her, trigger things in her, and then y'all making all this music together, y'all doing all these great things together, and then y'all no longer together or y'all miserable together because she was compatible but wasn't God's counterpart. Hope that helped, family. Thank you so much for watching my video. I pray that it was a blessing to you. If this video resonated with you, make sure you check out the links in my description box below. Links to my books, card games, coaching programs, as well as my school community. And also make sure you like, share, and comment on this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I look forward to serving you on the next video. I love you all. Catch you in the next one. Peace.